All right, everyone. I know that we're having a great time talking. Let's go ahead and take your seats because I see that President Katrina Rogers is entering the room, which means it is time to start. And as long as my PowerPoint works, then I'm going to be just fine tonight. Marilyn, this morning we had the couple glitches, and I'm like, it worked out just fine. Good evening, everyone. My name is Hillary Molina, and I am the Director of Alumni Relations, and I truly think that I have the best job in the entire university, although I know that our president begs to differ. But I am so happy to be here and see all of you. So before I get started, though, I would like to introduce President Rogers, who has a couple of words. This is the first time this week that we have an alumni gathering and all of you alumni here. So thank you so much for making it. We also have tomorrow too, which I'll talk about a little bit later, but I would like to introduce President Katrina Rogers.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Is that okay? The sound, Marilyn? Yeah, I want to keep it exactly right. Hi, Anita. I feel like I'm not the president of Fielding right now. I feel like I'm in a room with all old friends and colleagues and students and mentees, and it's really wonderful to see everybody. And I'm really excited not only about all of the things that Hillary is about to tell you, but also about tomorrow, because one of the things we're going to do this evening is to just take a moment, have a little nibble, have some refreshments, and talk about what are the kinds of things that alumni would like to see in 2019 and 2020 going forward, and then feed that into the work that we're going to do tomorrow, which will have even more refreshments and more nibbles. And Hillary will tell you about that. I think you know already how amazing Hillary Molina is, right? There is. I also want to call out Elena Nick-Lawson, our Director of Development, who is here. And she and Hillary work hand in hand to make sure that we are good communicators and good networkers and help you get the benefits and all that you need from having an alumni experience. And then I want to point out Dr. Charles McClintock, Dean Emeritus for HOD, and also works with the Institute for Social Innovation, and I know also keeps the spirit alive with our Alumni Fellows program. So one of the things about alumni is so meaningful to me. First of all, I do have the best job at Fielding. But one of the things that's most meaningful in my job is staying connected to our graduates. And as I say often, that if I raise the value, visibility, and reputation of the Fielding degree, I'm doing right by you. And that's my job. And I love the work, and I also love the themes that we're working on these days for alumni, this notion of stewardship, of bringing you back, offering professional development opportunities, having you engage in seminars. This is really the lifeblood of Fielding. It's living our promise of our vision that we are a lifelong learning community. We represent diverse perspectives, diverse professions. We are engaged in all kinds of research and in practice, and in really reimagining our community as we go. Lastly, I just want to say one more thing before I turn over to Hillary, which is that many of you may have heard about our Inclusion Council and our Building Inclusion Collaborative work, and there is a Building Inclusion Collaborative Fellows program as well. And I'd like those in the room who are what we call BIC Fellows, which always reminds me of my aunt who spent her whole professional life, no kidding, putting caps on Bic pens in the factory. I'd like to have you please stand. So there are a few here. I think Ruth is, June is, who else is? Anita, anybody else? Okay, all right. And while we're at it, let's have the Institute for Social Innovation Fellows stand. I see Marilyn. Anybody else? Zerat, of course, I'm sorry. Zerat, excuse me, Zerat. Thank you. Anybody else? Excuse me? Oh, hello, Dorian. I'm sorry you stood. I just didn't see you. Oh, you know, my eyes are getting a little faded. All right. And then I think that's about it. There's one other personage I would like to introduce because she was a former chair of the Board of Trustees and alumna who's here with us this evening, and that's Morgan. Please stand, Morgan. Welcome back. Welcome back and welcome home. Welcome to your Fielding family.
Thank you so much. So as I was getting this presentation together, I always tell myself not to, death by PowerPoint is something that I try not to do, but I think I did that tonight. But I know that all of you can read. So I may be jumping through some of the slides and I'll refer to them, let you take a look at it. But I have so much information that I wanted to share with you and hopefully get you really excited and inspired. So first, why are we here and why am I doing this? I would like to, unfortunately, Sherry Gers is not here, and I know that many of you know her. She was my predecessor years ago as the Director of Alumni Relations and has become a very good friend. And she said, Hillary, we used to do these things called Alumni Power Hours. And alumni loved it. It was the first time that they got together, and I see some people nodding, that they got together, hear what's going on at the university, have a chance to connect, and have a space. But this isn't just for alumni. We also have students here as well, which are really excited because students are also our alums, and that's something that I'll be talking about soon. So that's why we're here. And last year, we started it for the very first time. And what I like to move around a little bit because you don't need to look at me the whole time. I have couple of things up on the screen here, but I'd like you to take a look at what the input was from last year. Many of you were with us last year at this time. A couple of questions that I had is what ideas do you have around ways to increase alumni attendance at national sessions? And how did you answer? You wanted continued education, right? Professional development. Second questions are, what are your ideas about what to offer at sessions? And we have this great presentation called Building Your Online Platform, which we had today. So we made that happen. Thank you to Marilyn, yes. And then everybody else, this was the consistent theme, was consulting, publishing, conference presentations. And in 2 hours from now, we're doing that. We have alumni who are experts at this, right? And so we have Marilyn who will be speaking again. We have a couple of other alums. We hope that you could stay at 7 o'clock. So we listened to you and we made that happen here. And last but not least is your ideas about how to connect alumni around specific interests. And the general answer was online and in person. What does that mean? We don't know yet, right? So that's why you're here. That's why I have you here tonight. The other thing that I'd like to go over is the results of the alumni survey and the top alumni engagement interests. And you said that you wanted access to research opportunities. Okay. You also said, sorry if I'm in your way here, that you also wanted access to the alumni library. And we do currently offer an alumni library collection, but you said that we want more, okay? And then kind of going back to the engagement pieces, you wanted academic conversations. And you said you wanted them online, in person with faculty and one another. And again, that's great. What does that mean and how do we do that? So I'll be looking at all of you today because we do have a little bit of small group work at the very end of this. So we've been trying to do our best to listen to you. We haven't been trying to, we have been listening to you. So this year, and I've been thinking about this for quite some time, is that 2019 is Alumni Reimagined. And what does that mean? Looking at how alumni relations can be different than what it was in the past, yet still acknowledging our roots of what our alumni have been for the last 45 years, right? So for many of you, you know that this is our 45-year anniversary, right? Which is pretty significant. And so we have several activities based around that theme. And everything is also very integrated in the programming that we have for alumni relations in the next year. So I've had this question asked of me, specifically from a couple of people in the room, is what is the Alumni Fielding Network? Now, for those of you who remember FAN back in the day, right, so we're bringing that back. with a twist. We still want to keep those roots. We still want to keep that network connection. But what we're looking at is broadening that network. We don't want to look at alumni just as alumni. Alumni are students. Our network is faculty, students, and our friends and our board. So the Fielding Alumni Network, the definition of that is expanding, and I'd like to show you how we're doing that. But the network for the last 45 years has truly been not just alumni, it has been faculty, it has been staff, it has been students, and it has been our board members. So as we're celebrating this next year, we've really seen this sense of community as we want to make this sense of community more visible. Sometimes we get, I know a lot of people say that they feel disconnected because the times when we don't get to see each other face to face, and these sessions are vitally important for our connections, right? So we need to remember that even though we're not connected face to face all the time, this time is important, but we have some other ideas of how we can keep you connected this next year. So, now what? As we've been taking a look at the alumni survey, looking at the Alumni Power Hour feedback, the conversations that I have with all of you, there's a couple of things that I'd like to go over. And again, all of you can read. I'm not going to go deep into this, but I want you to know that the Office of Alumni Relations is looking specifically, oh good, this works from way back here, is what is the purpose of the Fielding Alumni Network? Our goal is to provide resources, activities designed to help you stay connected and provide meaningful ways for alumni to support one another in the university. See if it works this far back here. Nope. Oh, here's my spot right here. The next one is the mission. And the bolded words right here, I think really important, something that I hope that resonates with all of you here in this room, is the goal is to foster a mutually beneficial lifelong relationship. I'm not going to read it. Inspire loyalty and pride, and to advocate for excellence in all areas of fielding study. And the way that we can do that is alumni having you reconnect back with our students. And it's wonderful to have people back here in person that I haven't seen in a while. It's such a pleasure to see so many people here. And then next is, what is our vision? The Fielding Alumni Network vision. This is what I'm really trying to work on, is that we are making a sense of community from the day that you start in NSO, right? You're part of the alumni network the minute that you step on campus. So we're looking at our students as part of the alumni network. We haven't really talked about that as much, and we're going to start talking about it now. That's what we mean by Alumni Reimagined, right? Our alumni are we're looking at you as the starting point, students. We're really looking at you as starting to be a part of our network. All right, this next part right here is just a quick little video. One of the ways that since we are a distributed universities, we do depend quite a bit on our online resources. And what we haven't seen is a way for students to connect with alumni. We haven't seen a way for alumni to connect one to another. So I've been working on this for the last 2 years, and I'm really excited to share with you that we have a new website, alumni.fielding.edu. And it's okay if you pull out your phone right now and take a look. It won't be rude at all. But there's a lot of opportunities on here that alumni haven't quite had access to yet. So we have, you're able to find one another. You can browse events. You can connect with one another. And I have a little bit more to show you right after here. But sharing your news. We haven't had a two-way dialogue in quite some time. A lot of what has happened in the last couple of years is information being pushed out and not getting that information being brought back in. And we want to hear from you and engage from you in that way. The other part, here's all the instructions right here. You can go ahead and join even right now if you'd like. It's easy to join. LinkedIn, Facebook. If you don't have either one of those, that's okay. Just go ahead and log in with your email address. There is a short verification process because we like to make sure that your information is safe. So if there's a little bit of time after that, please don't mind a day or two until I can get back to my computer to make sure and say yes. So this is what the website actually looks like. And the reason I'm showing you this, and this is a short little video too, is just to show you some of the features that we have on the website. And this is information alumni have not had at their fingertips in a long time. This is one place that has everything. There's a calendar, and this is just kind of the sign-up page here. But there's a calendar of events that you will finally know if there's something in your neighborhood that you want to attend. If there is an online, if there's a webinar that's coming up, then you can go ahead and join that. We also have a social media feed for those of you who like Twitter and Facebook. And unfortunately, our amazing director of communications is not in here, Starshine Rochelle. If you're online, and you'll see the fantastic content that she has, everything is fed right onto this main landing page. You do not need to be signed on to see this information that you're looking at right here. One of the things that you'll notice too is a career center. You'll notice in an alumni needs section, we're working on a mentor module and an alumni library. And the part that I'm most excited about is at the very bottom right here is a map of alumni around the world. And I think that I've shown this to some people quite a bit, so they're probably, they know this very well. And this is kind of my big show and tell, which go ahead and take a look up here. And for the first time, we actually have an interactive map of alumni across the globe. And what does that mean? Let's take a look. I should have the music background. Actually, while we're looking at that, I'm going to get quick water. So this is live. I like to do this every couple of days. It makes me so excited to see this. Now, please note when you are logged in and you have your account, then you'll be able to see each person's profile. You will only be on this website and available if you sign into your profile, okay? And there's a lot more. I unfortunately don't have a whole lot of time to go through this video right here, but please know that this is accessible. When you do get on the website, if you're looking at it right now, it gives you the map, but it won't give you the people's names when you're signed in, and you can click on that person's name. And if they're logged on, then you can message that person directly, which is pretty great. The thing that's really exciting for me and able to be in service to all of you is many times people have wanted to have get an event together, like in Los Angeles, let's say, and you've already heard my story on this one, is I would get a phone call from an alum saying, hey, I'd love to do an event in LA. Who's there? So then I would go into my database, pull up an Excel file, we'd send an email out, and then 6 months later realize, oh, there's probably some people that moved into LA. Okay, how do we find who that is? Okay, we're only looking at HOD. We're only looking at these many years because we really want to narrow it down. This does it right here. I'm so excited. So if we set parameters, let's say just for Santa Barbara, anytime somebody's added onto the site, they're automatically added to Santa Barbara. So we won't be missing anyone. Right? Oh, thank you. So I'm excited about it. It's been a 2-year project, but the whole point of this ultimately is not just to make me happy, which it is in part, but what we haven't been able to provide you as alums is access. And this is it. This is it. And I won't go through the whole thing. I'm actually go ahead and skip to the next slide here, just so I can get through the last couple of parts. But please sign up. This brings me to the next point, of which is bringing the whole community together. Is we are excited to announce a signature event series called 45 Gatherings Across the Globe. And the idea here is that while we are a distributed university, there are pockets of fielding folks all over the world. And so we're trying to provide a regional opportunity for you to get together with your local alumni, faculty, and students. So I'm excited to say that we are, I think probably by tomorrow I'll have my 45. So I'm saying 45 plus gatherings across the globe. Now, the only place that you're going to find all of these events, because I'm trying to circle my strategy all the way around, is on the alumni.fielding.edu website. Okay, so if you go there right now, you'll see the page that has all of these events, which are across the globe. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to join one of these events. So go ahead and take a look. Students can sign up. Even if you're not signed into the website, you can still register for the event. Okay, I'll go through this part, which is really exciting. The strategic plan, specifically in goal number 5, which is completely dedicated to alumni engagement. One of the goals in there is to start an alumni association. Now, I've been spending a couple of years looking at how to make that work. What does that look like? I've met with alums. I've looked at alumni associations all over. And what we have looked at, the most important thing that we can do right now is not ask you for something. We are wanting to give you the resources that you've been asking for. So at the very beginning of the presentation where you said that you wanted an extended alumni library, we're able to provide that for you. Looking at resource abilities and looking at grant opportunities, we have that now. So the association is starting off at a basic level of being able to provide you the services that you've been asking for, and I'm really hoping that you're going to be excited about some of the things that we're going to offer. So I'll go through. How's my timing? Okay, I'm doing good. So there's membership levels, which I'll go through very quickly. This is not launched yet. I still have a couple of technical things that I need to work on the site and a little bit more details right here. But the goal here, again, is to provide you the resources to support events, to make sure that we're offering you enrichment educational opportunities. And here's how the tiered system is working, just so we're clear on how this ties into the website and also the Alumni Association, because everything is based around this platform. So the network, students, faculty, staff, faculty emeritus, they are all able to join the network, which is the website that I was just showing you, which means access to the alumni library, access to the alumni maps, so you can message one another. Now, the resource option right here is the first level is free, and that is all of your benefits, your access to the basic alumni library collection, and the job board, plus a lot of other actually added in benefits right there. And then it gets to the point where it's a fee-based system, and that's really to take care of the additional databases that we're able to provide you. So the first level is the advocate level, and there's a couple of fun things in there with, you know, $20 off AAA, you know, Zoom access and discounts on Dell computers and all that, you know, and travel and fun stuff. But the biggest point right here is the Info Ed Spin access, which I'll show you in just a moment, along with several other resources. But let me show you the Info Ed Spin. This is the world's largest sponsored funding opportunity database with over 40,000 funding opportunities for more than 10,000 global sponsors, which is pretty significant. So for those of you that are looking for that, for your career advancement, for your business development, for, you know, ventures, this is a pretty fantastic opportunity here that we're really excited to provide you. So this is just the level 1. Now, getting to the extended alumni library collection, for those of you who are going to be here at the 7 o'clock event, our librarian, Abby Ray, will be here to explain a little bit more what exactly the extended alumni library collection offers. But just a quick overview right here is there are 10,000 more journal titles. There's 5 additional databases that are hands down the most robust databases that you could possibly want, which is essentially taking you back to the alumni library, or to the library that you had when you were students? Thank you. This is pretty significant. We've been, when you do see Abby, we've been working on this for the last 2 years, and we are just utterly thrilled to be able to offer this. When I first came on the job 6 years ago, second week on the job was summer session in Alexandria, and pretty much every alum that came up and said, we need the alumni library, need the alumni library. And President Rogers is not here right now, but when she came on board as president, she started the basic alumni library collection, which was an incredible asset and benefit for alumni. And now we are able to actually provide an incredible, opportunity. The nice thing too is with the fast search opportunity, which is really the biggest point, is you can search all of our databases in one spot. So you don't have to search database by database. So for those of you who are doing research and nodding your head, you know that that's pretty beneficial. And again, I won't. Was that a good or a bad? Good one. Okay.
I don't know why everyone isn't just falling off their chair.
Thank you. You just made me feel really good. So this is just for those that understand the names of these databases right here, you understand how significant this really will be, and hopefully you find this of value. And again, we can go through it, more of that a little bit later when Abby is here. And let's see, the last part is we will have further points of opportunity for you, which are to come. So stay tuned for more. Now, in the last few things before we do a very quick group work here, is we'd like to ask you to get involved and get involved in the way that suits you. We've already talked about the Building Inclusion Collaborative. We've talked about the Institute for Social Innovation Fellows, but is Charles still here, or did he just step out? Okay. Yes. So if you're interested in the ISI, actually, we have so many ISI fellows here in the room. If you're interested, please make sure and contact them. They can talk to you a little bit more. We have an Alonzo Center membership, which is in the clinical psychology side. Stay tuned for that. That's a free membership. So those that are interested in psychodynamics, yes, then that might be something of interest to you. We have numerous scholarship awards. We have the Duvon Alumni Award, which I'm very excited to say that our 2019 award winner, Zaret Boyd, is here today. And we'll be doing please meet her and hear about her work. She's just absolutely fantastic. She's receiving the award at the alumni or the HOD graduation on Saturday, and we look forward to that. So again, you can read all of this information here, but there's a lot of ways to get involved. And of course, if you have any questions, you can get a hold of me. All right. In the last, what I'd like to ask is, for the next, I don't know, we only have about 5 minutes here, but on your table, there is a handout that I would love to get your feedback on. And if you're not able to go through all of this right now, then please take your time. You can email me these information. But what I'm looking at is, what are the top 3 most important points of connection for graduates to fielding and to one another in the next 45 years? You only get to choose 3. So the next 45 years. Now, that's the first part of the question. The second is, I need to know why. I need to know why you're saying that is 1, 2, or 3. I need to understand that, because as we were talking earlier, what does it mean to connect to one another? I need to know what that means for you, tangible. What does that mean to connect? In person, online? And what is that specifically in person, online? And so that's the how. I need to know how. So please take some time to go through that. And what I was planning on doing is having each table do their top 3 and then go through the room and have people talk about that. But since we had so much fun in the beginning, we're not going to have time for that. So what I'd like for you is, if you have time now, great. If not, please email me that information. I would really appreciate that. What I will do is, if I can get that information from you tonight, and you are able to email that to me, I was going to do a quick overview at the alumni reception tomorrow, just so we can say that we're listening and here's some things that we definitely picked up on that were themes. And I don't know where my clicker went here. I think that may be it. Yes. Yes.
When you say connection point,
Yes.
what specifically are you looking for? Give us an example of a connection.
Sure. Great question. So continuing education. Let's say that you're interested, and I'll hear this often, that what I'm interested in is I'll hear continuing education, and that means one thing to the School of Psychology. That means one thing to coaches. That means one thing, of school to school. So you'll say continuing education. Does that mean that you would come to session if we offered CEs? Would you be interested in having CEs online via Zoom? Would you be willing to teach a CE? Is that helpful?
That's very helpful.
Okay.
I have a question about the presentation.
Yes.
At what point can you join the network with the levels?
Good question. So the levels will be available, I'm hoping, in about a month. There's a couple of different pieces that I have to work on technically to get that going, but I'll make sure and do an email blast, which is another good reason to keep your email up to date on the website, because that's how we use our communication resources. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Judy Stevens-Long, for those of you who don't know me. And I just wanted to say hello and also say how much I'm looking forward to this data. Because Hillary and I always go with the data together. We would really love the data.
Yes, we want the meaty parts. Yes.
We'll see that it gets back.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So we have some time left. This is meant to be social and fun. Tomorrow night is the alumni and new graduate reception, and that is from 5 to 6:30. I believe it's here in this room. I don't have a presentation tomorrow. This is a chance for you to mix and mingle and have a good time, but please feel free to stay here. We still have the bar in the back, some nibbles. I'm here to answer questions, and I just want to say thank you so much for being here. This means the world to me, and I appreciate your feedback and seeing all your faces. So, yes, ma'am. Yes.
Some of us are going to be doing some circle dancing at 9 o'clock tonight, and if you feel like it. We're part of the somatics group. So it's going to be outside of, I think, St. Inez in that hallway. It's actually going to be inside the room.
And Evie is the one to do that with, too. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.